So let's answer this little chat question about I want to get an airbrush and I would like to use it at work. USB airbrush is a misnomer a little bit. It's a USB compressor, so it's one of those like they're called handheld or cordless airbrushes, and it's these things right here. And I got mine like 3 years ago or something, but now they're all over Amazon, and it's really funny because it's like it looks so much like a scam when you buy it because it's filled with buzzwords and everything. And so when I got it, it was literally that. I bought it because I thought it was like the worst scam possible. And I was like, ooh, this is great. Turns out it's way better than I expected. I was fully expecting to get scammed and not even receive it. And I did receive it, and it was slightly better than I expected. So the cool thing here is, I want to use an airbrush, and I don't want to get caught at work. So here's the sound that this compressor makes. Like it is, I don't know if you guys can see, it's on top of the microphone. This is insanely quiet, like it does not make a noise. So it's really cool for that. And also, this thing has been in the box for like 6 months and it's still working. It's fascinating stuff. So, let's just talk about this. So it's called handheld or cordless airbrush, and then obviously this is kind of a stupid, it's two things, right? So the thing that you're really buying is this piece here, that's the compressor. And the compressor is, in fact, cordless, right? Like you plug it, it's a USB plug, and you can charge it. But what this allows you is that you get to hold it like this, and you don't really have like a cable linking you to a wall. So it's really easy to travel with, and it's really portable, and it's kind of easy to use. Whereas you just press the button, and then off you go. You lock it in there, and then you're like good to go. It goes. And then the drawback, like the bonus of this is obviously you get to carry it around, and you get one of those like cheaper kind of airbrush, which is kind of the same. The one that I get, like this is the one I use the most, and it's one of those like cheap ones. Is the same thing, with one difference, and this is a very important difference too. Is like this airbrush is not compatible with the others because the male and female plugs are reversed. So usually what you get is your hose is going to be a female plug. Whereas this one, since there's no hose, it's a male. The male plug is in here, and this one here is a female plug. And this is very uncommon because usually airbrushes have the male plug, like the part with the little spiral thingy. Whereas this one, it gets screwed into instead of doing the screwing. So now I'm sure there's a better word, but that's the only one I know. So it's literally translated from the French expression of it. So that's kind of the drawback. However, there are some that have this compressor and then a hose and then a regular airbrush. So this kind of solves the problem, but it also becomes a little bit less like travel friendly. Like this is like really fun, right? Like this is like super small, and there's really no fidgeting because you're holding the whole thing. Like there's nothing hanging around. Whereas if I have a hose here, I have to put this thing like somewhere, either like on my, like you can sit on it, I guess, and you get like all this fuzzy feeling when you're airbrushing. I don't know what you want to do. So you have to put this somewhere, and then you have to spray, and then you have the cord actually going from here to here. So the two models exist. Now the cool thing about this one that a lot of the others don't is that the cup here is fixed, and so this gives you like the big like entry point for paint. So this is really, really cool. This is the best option out there because the screw-ons, you have just a little bit of what's it called, like the dropping point, because you have to screw the cup on, and so it takes up a lot of space in like real estate, and it's harder to clean. So I don't like that, especially from like a little travel option like this, like a smaller options. So this one here, really, really happy about the whole situation. And then, and this is actually like, this is travel friendly because this is just a battery. So as long as you carry it, as long as you use this like as a carry-on, I think you would have to pack it separately because you would need this in one, like, you would need this on you, and then this, because it's got a needle in there, you would need to leave in your like, other baggage, I guess. So you would have to split it, but I'm sure you can travel with this because this battery is the same as like every other thing that like a laptop or whatever. And the travel option is what interested me about this model and getting this airbrush is it works like really well, and it's very, very travel friendly. Again, the drawbacks is you can't really upgrade this airbrush because you need one that has the weird connector to it. Or you need to really MacGyver a complex situation, because the main thing is like this button here. When you press it, like you can see, this one here is not even that. You can't press it, so it's always going. It's always spraying hair. So you spray all the time, and then you yes no. So it's almost like a single action, like a reverse single action, because usually the single action is not this that you control. Whatever. Besides the point. If you understood this, you understood this. Congratulations. If you're new to this, don't bother with the sentence. It doesn't matter. And then the other, like the last, like kind of cool thing is that because this is a complete setup, it's actually like kind of cheap, because it's around 70 to 80 Canadian dollars. So probably 50 in the US, like Amazon, maybe even 40. And no, probably more 50, 70, whatever. In the 50 to 70 range, depending on which option you look. And it sounds like very expensive for an airbrush, but it's actually an airbrush and a compressor. So it comes down to like even the basic setup that I use and I recommend to everybody is like 110. So you still end up like saving some money for this rather than buying a big setup. But the drawback is that it's much more limited, that is, or much less like convenient and like long term and whatnot. So, but I feel like this is a very interesting thing, especially if you are really looking to save a lot of space. Like either because, again, it's for like a portable station, or just because you don't really have like a big permanent setup, but you would still like to airbrush. This makes it possible, whereas usually not having a permanent setup means your compressor is not going to be like plugged in and you're not going to have your little space to do it. This kind of takes this problem away, where you can just, this is a very small box to put everything away in. And again, you just need like 2 solo cups to clean this thing correctly, and then you're good to go. And you just need to plug it every once in a while. So it's honestly one of those things of like, if you have one of the few like problems where you don't want to invest in like a big thing because you just want to do like base coats, if you're looking to travel, or if you're looking to save space and save noise on like a budget, it's a really great tool. If you don't have like these like 3 or 4 like little problems or issues, it's probably not worth it. Like you don't save a lot, and like all of the weird fucking things that they put on the sales page, like if you click on the link that I'll post in the video, underneath the video, like it's easy to clean, and what, like it's not easy to clean because it's just as easy as any other airbrush to clean, because it's an airbrush. And that's kind of their claim of like it's much better than airbrush. Like, nah, bro, it's the same airbrush thing. So what you're really buying into is like a quick and compact compressor. That's really the buying option for this, is the compressor, not the airbrush. This is a cheap $40, $30, $20 airbrush that you get in any other starter set. It's the same thing. So it's not like easier to maintain. It's not more precise. What you get is like a cool compact compressor that you can travel with, and that it is kind of very quiet for what it is. This is, I think, one of the best things is that how quiet this little thing is. Again, not really a must buy, but definitely if you have like one of those 3 or 4 or 5 issues, this might be the solution, as dumb as it sounds, or as like limited as it sounds. This is one of those like compromises that you have to make, where you can't get the butter and the money of the butter. Is that an English expression? This is a very French expression. I don't know if it's whatever. Like this is not the one size fits all thing, but it really is. If you have like X, Y, or Z reservation about buying an airbrush because you have like some constraint, this dodges a lot of these constraints. So it allows you to have an airbrush without a lot of the common disadvantages or hurdles to jump through. I really like it because I've been looking for like building like a little portable painting like station or like a travel setup, and this was really like one of the things that I got it as a kind of a. So I have no idea about the pressure, but it's decent enough that you can do base coats pretty easily. The downside, obviously, for pressure is that you can't control it. It's yes or no sitting. It was like, do you want air? Yes or no. There's no in between, but I'm pretty sure it's like it shoots at around 25, maybe 20. Like it's got very decent enough pressure.